even if he sees some levels, you're going to want to dip out really, really quickly, potentially, because of what you know, in order to be able to try to figure out where level 9 is and what you need to get in.
What we do have here is a very similar starting location to the last scene. We're going to be down in the Dead Woods with immediately finding a 5 rupee small secret. Not what you want to see here. You want to see some bigger totals, but the medium secret's really going to determine whether or not money's going to be an issue. The other thing we saw is Gibdo is immediately on the overworld, and hey, look at that. We've got the white sword item. It's the power bracelet.
That's an interesting one. I mean, again, with second quest, with mixed overworld. So again, you have first and second quest together here. You have all the potential second quest spots. So you actually add like 2 or 3 extra, 3 extra slots. So it's going to be interesting. Ooh.
Jam with a huge advantage already. The bottom left corner, which is something you don't normally check very often early in the match, contains the wood sword. Jam already coming out smoking hot here.
I mean, I don't with the starting location they have, that might not be as big of a saves. I mean, it'll definitely save a little bit of time here, but the first time I think RBG ends up with a bomb and he saves back to start, he's going to check that bottom corner. So it's, you know, it's definitely an advantage for Jam, but it's only an advantage until RBG finds bombs. At that point, I think the advantage may go away a little bit. It's just me, of course, trying to stay a bit more positive about this, but, you know, it's definitely a good sign for Jam to find that sword early, but I think it's not going to be as bad as it would be if, let's say, they were starting up in the Northeast.
Oh no, you're absolutely correct there. And taking a look at things from the perspective of, you know, what items will get you to go down there is definitely something you want to be looking at here. The big advantage, of course, that Jam is going to have here is any dungeon he finds, he can absolutely explore it, whereas Redbird's going to definitely have to probably stick to the unofficial rule of 6, which of course is just jump in, look around for up to 6 rooms, and if you can't do anything, just get out and come back later.
Oh, agreed. And, you know, as I said, both these players, you know, I've watched them practice, and they are probably 2 of the hardest practicing players that I have ever seen in terms of practicing for these randomizers. And these guys both know this game cold. Both of them can turn this thing around on, you know, pretty much anything that comes their way. So in this case, RBG is just going to hope he gets a bunch of stuff. I mean, the advantage essentially here, well, that low health there almost might be an advantage, because if he dies at any point here, his natural next path is to go back through the grave, and if he's down there anyway, might swing down to that wood sword. So his goal here is to get that Armos item, find out what it is, potentially hit 1 or 2 open caves up here. He's hoping for that sword. We know he's not going to find it, but hopefully he'll find something else here, such as a level of some form.
Well, we're on the bottom row here, which isn't going to give us too much information. I mean, based on where we are, it gives us a little bit, but there's so many potential levels this could be. I'm guessing first quest 8?
Could be 8, could be 1. I'm leaning. Let's see. I'm leaning 1.
1?
I'm saying that's 1. It was either, I was gonna say 1 or 8 for first quest potential, but I think that's 1.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to know anything more until we get a bomb, so that's off the table. But Jam does have some bombs over there on his side, going to kill the, I believe there was a moblin he killed to get that.
I'm having to dig through all these Lionels. Those things are just a giant wrecking committee of doom there. But the Moblin's going down almost no hits at all, so it's absolutely great for them. Great for Jam. It'll be great for RBG if he finds a candle at some point here.
I mean, our most item being the red candle is definitely an option Redbird's looking to find. Just like last seed, he would very much like to see the white sword as the Armos item again.
Oh, agreed. That finds that white sword, that's going to be a gigantic find for him. And he's still trying to check these out here because we know it could be over here, could be down at the grave. It's going to be in a slightly different spot than it was last time, at least.
Yeah, so Jam's going to go ahead and be able to tell us exactly what dungeon we're in here, because he is entering with bombs. So we'll know where we are pretty much once Jam decides, well, a compass is nice.
Absolutely. Compasses are good. It'll help him out get in the ways. And
ew! Really?
Well,
really?
I've seen worse. Now, on the plus side, for RBG, it means that he now knows the Moblins are exactly 1 hit point and not just 0.
That is true.
He's getting information with this.
I mean,
he's finding all the blue candles that he can't get.
Yeah, I mean, and RBG is definitely a big proponent of it. Doesn't matter which one it is, whether it's the blue one or the orange one or yellow one, whatever color you want to put it. Yellow is the proper answer. I can see orange on some screens, but early boomerangs are definitely something RBG is a big fan of because it allows you to explore a little bit, gives you a way to stun enemies to get past them. He's definitely not going to complain about an early boomerang, although he's definitely hoping it was something else.
Oh, agreed. And that's something that they may come back here. I mean, these players are incredibly good. So, but I'm not sure if you'll necessarily see them come back here guaranteed to get that red ring there on the coast. I mean, you know, we saw the blue ring purchase last seed, and lovely, horrible, low mid secrets here on the seed as well. But I think, you know, it's one of those things. If they happen to route back over there, great. If there's something maybe in the forest that gives them the final piece of Triforce that they need, or a dungeon close to the Dead Woods, maybe they'll loop back over, but we might not see them come back for that red ring, which is kind of hard to say. It's shocking whenever you're talking about a red ring.
Yeah, but RBG thinking about first thing and taking the heart, but opts to take the candle, which is good. It's going to help his exploration. The other thing to note is that finding the Armos item here in the forest is actually not the best thing for RBG, because now he doesn't have a necessary reason to head over to the grave immediately. And I know RBG is going to avoid Death Mountain as long as he possibly can. But, you know, finding the Armos item where he did may be detrimental depending on how he wants to route.
Certainly. I mean, again, it's all going to depend on where a lot of these places end up being, but I think he's going to be... He probably will be staying up here in the northeast a bit more. I will definitely agree with that. He doesn't have any reason, as much of a reason, to go back towards the Dead Woods now. But if he does end up back near the Dead Woods, he's got a candle. We got a shot here.
Jam over on the right-hand side of the screen, playing Dancing with Red Bubbles here and doing quite a good job of avoiding them.
Yeah, this is 8. I'm fairly certain we're in 8.
This definitely looks like a 2Q8.
Yep, so we've got the second quest, second set again, which means you're going to be seeing lots of staircases here, folks. And again, as we were talking about earlier, you know, you may see RBG. It depends on how he goes here. Now he's getting his wood sword.
Yeah. He is. That was you don't hear the phrase too often, but that was a very good death for Redbird because it's going to give him his sword.
Oh, agreed. And what we're going to see here, and again, we'll see whether or not this, what he's going to do here, but he does have a slight advantage of having the candle here for early exploration down here in the Dead Woods. So it's going to be interesting to see, because as I said, with the fact that he is down 1-0 here, you may see him skip out on some of these dungeons that maybe he would have gone into otherwise, like level 8 here. Maybe if he finds level 8, he might just run, hoping that, you know, he doesn't have to go through all the stairs, and thinking Jam potentially could. This is one of those dangerous metagames. You don't know which way that the other player's gonna play, and, you know, having to try to figure that out makes the routing very interesting here.
So what you're saying is if he goes up into 8, things might spiral out of control?
Oh, geez. We're going there already, aren't we?
Sorry, not sorry.
As long as you have absolutely no follow-up questions, yes.
Now, the thing I'm going to find interesting here is, as soon as RBG finds bombs, does he make his way back to level 1 because of the 2 items in there?
My gut would be yes. So you've got 2 items, although RBG just found a brand new level completely, so that way we don't have to worry about all that yet. And he's going to explore this one. What is this? Is this going to be 3? No, not 3. Oh, sorry, I misread that. That's a recorder,
well, we do have a recorder. Recorder is nice, especially nice for one of those dungeons where you get the Triforce and don't get the items out of it, just to go into 9 if you need to go back to it.
Agreed.
So it's one of those items
for 4 here, I'd say.
Yeah, it could be. This is one of my favorite games. Guess the dungeon.
Yeah, I'm waiting 4. And so finding a recorder here in 4 is going to be good. Nice thing for RBG now is, depending on which way he decides to gamble, in terms of finding items, whether he chooses to do full clears of dungeons to try to find extra items, you know, kill this Digdogger that he now actually has access to kill, might give him an advantage of being able to come back later on. If he finds a quick Triforce in the dungeon, he can choose to come back later on via recorder. Whereas Jam, like for example here, he's going to take this Triforce and get right out of there. Again, we're assuming this is level 4, based on what we've been seeing so far.
Yeah, there's absolutely zero reason to not take the Triforce and get out of there. Jam also going to go ahead and pick up the blue boomerang as the Armos item, but Redbird does have our first Triforce of the match. We're assuming it's level 4. I'm not sure if you hit the button yet, but yeah, definitely nice. And now, what happens with level 9? Do you jump right in if it's one Triforce like it was last time?
It's tough because if you're 2 items missing, it's really tough. I mean, getting the information of exploring it is definitely useful, but it's a tough call to make that in there if you don't have, if you need both items to be in there. I'd almost, I mean, I guess you could potentially go in there to try to find a hint for silvers to try to help yourself out, but for the most part, my gut would say to continue to explore the overworld and try to find other dungeons and see maybe what you can find there. I mean, maybe you explore and you find everything that you need right there. It's certainly possible. It's a tough decision. I don't know which one I would do. It really depends where I find 9. The nice, lovely hesitation answer that everyone tries to give you. Ooh, another level here.
Nope, that's fine. And I'm going to say, it looks like RBG is routing his way back to 1 while exploring on the way, and he's going to be rewarded by a level here. This could be 2, it looks like.
Yeah, I was going to say, good shot of that with where everything was. He's going to check that out, this level. He's going to try to kill these lovely dark nuts here with some bombs. See if we can get some of them out of the way here, just to see if this is a push block to take him somewhere. I mean, it's definitely one of the first quest levels. So I think the level 2 hypothesis here is probably the best one.
Let's say 2 or
maybe
6?
6, yeah, I was going to say 6 is possible. The fact that there's this the single block stair does lead me to think that 6 is slightly more likely than 2, but we'll find out here momentarily if it pushes. Yep, that's not 2, you're right, that's probably 6.
Or Krim makes a good point, that could be the rumor requirement in 5.
Also possible, yeah, I was trying to place where if he came in from the bottom there. Yeah, it could be, actually 5's got a good shot at looking at that there.
I mean, the Dodongo, they're not the worst thing for RBG to find. Also, we missed it while we were dancing with Darknuts. Jam found a very, very nice large secret, and that compass the location confirms we're in level 5.
Oh, there we go. Yep. So we got 5, and RBG doing the debate. He knows he's got to walk all the way to this Triforce, and he's going to continue to explore here.
I mean, not the worst thing in the world.
No, agreed. He's got a chance. I mean, again, level 5, we know is going to have one more item here somewhere. The key question for our RBG is going to be, where do we find... he needs keys anyway. He doesn't need keys. He could use resources. So he's trying to figure out exactly where he is.
The question I have to ask here is his going back into this 5 for a couple more rooms there, was that a product of last seed where the ladder was in the 1 room in 5 he didn't check?
Well, definitely could be. It's tough whenever you get bitten by one of those things, and I can tell you that from having been bitten many times playing this game. You take that one turn, and you make that mistake, that haunts you for at least a couple of games. And as you said
absolutely.
Here, you got that whole decision here: do I keep going? Do I stop? Do I remember to check second quest 7, which is what eliminated me from this tournament? Or first quest 7, rather. Do you remember to check that so as to eliminate yourself from the tournament, or what? And yeah, absolutely. And this is, I'd say, virtually confirmed at this point to be level 1 here, not 8. So
yeah. So Jamie gonna go ahead and pick up a heart container. Redbird gonna go ahead and kill some Zulls here, which unfortunately are slightly more than 1 hit point, so we didn't get the good roll on that.
Yeah, well, sometimes it's going to happen. I mean, the key question becomes whether or not the bomb kills them. That's the real question for the roll.
Yes, that's always the fun one. And, at least you're going in from the left-hand side there, with a door not through a bomb.
To come in on.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah, if that was a bomb wall, that's never fun.
RBG using the last bomb, although that's actually good news.
Corridor staircase, so he knows where the item is now.
He knows exactly where the stair item is, so he can go straight for that. Except he's out of bombs. Oh,
and we have teleporting Tektites.
Oh, super Tektites. These aren't even just regular Tektites. Those are extremely strong Tektites.
Yeah, I mean, he's unfortunately got to leave level 1 here. Looks like he's trying to farm bombs from the blue Lionels.
Oh, when you
got him too. Oh, he died. Oh, he had the bombs, but he died.
On the plus side, though, that lovely recorder he picked up at level 4, he can just blow right now if he wants to. No, not the candle. The recorder, and it'll take him right back, about 6 screens away, but far closer than he would have been if he was without the recorder. So
yeah,
just at least let him route that in.
Side, putting the magic boomerang to use, stunning the Lionel, only to get robbed of what appears to be 16 rupees.
That's a good secret. You take that without even thinking if you get that in a randomizer seed, considering the fact that it can be up to 25, so 16 is not bad at all.
No, absolutely not. But yeah, Redbird immediately going right back, dodging in and out of the Lionel sword beams. That was some absolutely fantastically fancy footwork by Redbird.
Oh, agreed. Yeah, as I said, these two guys are two of the best at this game. It's really hard to say anyone is, these two are clearly the top tier, flat out of randomizer. I mean, obviously Saver, who is waiting in the winner's bracket right now for whichever of these two survives this grueling matchup. But there's a lot of really strong players, but these ones are at the top echelon of randomizer players, and it's really tough to picture anything but goodness coming out of these two guys' plays, and I see it every single time that they decide to suit up here.
But Redbird does, in fact, have the bombs, and here we are. We're going to see what our first item in level 1 is. Going to go ahead and kill the Moldorms here just in case. Drum roll, please. Ooh!
Not going to be the same as last seed, not hiding in level 9 there. The Silver Arrows being a huge find here for RBG. He's now technically a bow away from being able to kill Ganon, assuming that he doesn't need any other items to get there.
Right, and the other thing we know is that Redbird does know that the Power Bracelet is the white sword item. He's got a 33% chance of acquiring that. So the bow is the only item that, as of right now, is still strictly required from the knowledge that we have. He could, of course, need the ladder, to get some more movement. He could need the raft to get to level 9. But as far as we're concerned with the knowledge that we have right now, the only other item we need to beat the game currently is the...
Oh, and this boomerang work by RBG is beautiful, taking advantage of that lovely blue boomerang there, and proceeding to use that to stun all the Tektites here, so that way he can kill the 4 hit point monstrosities here to get the key and escape the room without having to up-bang. That was amazing combat.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little upset that he was using the blue boomerang, but I have to give credit where his due. His banana foo was strong there. Oh, look at the other item here in 1. That's fantastic.
Okay, never mind. That key he got was not as good as he was. Wasn't necessarily worth getting that key, but in the end, it's all good because now he's got that key, and that is a strong level 1. We'll have to see if Jam gets back over there reasonably soon. He is starting to make his way towards there, but clearing out all the burn bushes and stuff in the process.
Yeah, the other big thing that the any key allows Redbird to do is he can skip a good portion of room drops now, because what is it? Half room drops, give or take, in the game are keys. So if he's just looking for like Triforces or staircases, he doesn't have to, or staircases especially, he doesn't have to kill any room he doesn't want to or doesn't have to by mechanics of the game.
Yeah, at this point, the only room he would really would need to kill stuff in potentially is level 2. To be able to get whatever item happens to be on the floor there, as Jam picks up his recorder out of level 4 now. But pretty much, other than that, you can maybe maybe pick up some keys just for the sake of having keys, but RBG doesn't need that at this point. So really, you're just going. You're going for Triforce here. Triforce is, I think the real goal at this point is go find where level 9 is, because that's really the most important bit. You find level 9, then you know how many Triforces you need, so you know how many of these dungeons you actually have to clear. And at this point, exploring level 9 with only one item, the bow could be that item in 9.
Yeah,
just like Silvers were in there last time.
Another thing of note here, and probably one of the best things that, as a player, I love seeing when we do these seeds, because as you know, enemy HP here is plus or minus 4 HP. Keys did not roll up, so Jam was killing them with his blue boomerang. So as a player, one of the things that's the worst is, Keys that roll up, because they're not stunnable with the boomerang because they're coded to be killed. So seeing 0 HP Keys is just always fantastic.
Oh, absolutely. You want those keys nice and low. You want to be able to give them lots of. You don't want to hug them at all. You just want to be able to give them even just a toss a little thing to them. Be able to play a little catch with them. I'm gonna throw you a ball, and oh yeah, you're dead.
Yep. And Jam also putting the blue banana to fine use there, stunning the little dig doggers, the dig doggerlings. I'm not sure what exactly you want to call them. We're going to call them dig doggerlings.
The babies.
And,
we'll call them babies.
We'll call them baby doggers. We'll call them dig puppers.
Oh yeah, that's perfectly cromulent term to use for them.
Fair enough. So Jam going to go ahead and restock his rupees after making a bunch of purchases. Redbird going to go ahead and pick up the 145 rupee large secret to really, really restock him. So wouldn't surprise me with Redbird having the silvers if he does come across a ring shop to pick up a blue ring. Potion is also an option because they both do in fact have the letter. But Redbird now in level 8.
And yes, this is going to be a ton of fun. He's actually really close to the Triforce, if I remember. From where the compass, when Jam was in here the first time, I want to say he was really close to here. Was where the Triforce is. It was either in the staircase room there, or possibly one down. Ooh, Jam was just short.
That's one of the worst things to see, was you walk in like, oh, there's a bomb up. Oh, I can't get it. So honestly, right now, one of the best.
And Jam just walking right by that 5-er.
Yeah.
We're putting one rupee away. Go back, get it.
I know, right? Get it. Interesting thing for Redbird here. One of the best possible things he could end up finding in here would be the bow, because Jam's already been in here, and 7 Quest level 8 especially is not one of those dungeons you want to willingly go back to.
Agreed. You have a lot of stairs in here. You have, 2 items, so it's not the end of the world, but it's also a gigantic level, and you try to avoid going back into it just because of all the guessing games you have to do going in there. And RPG stepped out of there, but let's see what Jam finds here in 5, if he's going to continue to explore. Now he'll take that 5 rupee, because now he has enough for the bomb upgrade.
Yeah, RBG having to leave 8 there. I believe he was Red Bubble that had no sword.
No swords, no bombs. Yeah, that can be a bunch of trouble here. And Jam realizing, I think, what level he's in. Not quite yet. And still trying to figure out exactly where he is. Trying to figure out if he wants to kill these bunnies. It looks like he doesn't really want to, which I cannot blame him at all for wanting to run.
Yeah, so Redbird was attempting to farm bombs off of the Lionels in front of level 1. He did that by using the recorder to get there because he picked up the Triforce, but unfortunately the Lionels like the delicious taste of bird, and so, unfortunately for Redbird, not getting any luck there.
Jam, on the other hand, getting a great find. It turns out that 108 rupees gets you a 6 bomb upgrade on the bomb capacity there. So he is now swimming in bombs. 14 bombs is his maximum.
Swimming with bombs sounds a little dangerous, though.
What are you talking about? Unless they're the water bombs, the water puts the fuse out. If anything, it's bad for the bombs because they just don't explode anymore for you.
See, I'm just picturing DuckTales where Scrooge McDuck jumps headfirst into the vault full of gold coins. I'm just picturing the vault full of bombs instead of trying to swim through that.
Oh, you see, now that you could do that, I mean, it wouldn't be too bad. I mean, the party would be a blast.
It really would be. See, and you guys give me crap about puns. However, look at this. Recorder is required for a dungeon. Not entirely sure which one. This feels like it could be level 6, but we have a Triforce here. Let's find out.
That's a fast grab. Let's see if RBG even comes back in here. There's the wand in 5. Jam has found the wand here.
So that's
I wonder if he'll continue to dig. That was 6.
That was 7. It was 6?
That was 6. Oh, was that 6? I thought it was 6. I thought that was the Triforce. Oh, maybe not. Maybe I misread that. This is what I get. We don't even get a quick enough glimpse. I was pretty sure it was 6. Not 6.
Oh, I know. The good thing for RBG is that the bow is not in 5 here.
Yes. That is agreed, although that might still be on the back of his mind. Jam finding a life or 3 key, man. Ooh. RBG will just laugh at that and say, okay, here is my key, have a nice day. But Jam deciding, no, I'm going to come back here later. Maybe. On the other hand, RBG having gigantic amounts of hit points on those likes and just having to sit there and pretty much stab away probably 13, 14 hit points off of these likes, whereas at the very least Jam would have the wand to be able to cut that down by half, but this is going to be a lot of killing here.
So what you're saying is RBG is not impressed with Free Pancake Day?
Not at all. He definitely cannot stand. He's just taking that fork of his and just trying to cut through the pancake and just not having any luck with it.
Yeah, so I believe that RBG is in his favorite level.
Oh, yay. And yes, answering the question in chat, if you give up a heart container, it is gone forever. So if Jam had paid that, he'd be down to 4 hearts, and he'd be sitting there kind of sad and crying and disconsolate. He'd be heartbroken.
Again, y'all give me crap for my puns. Oh, one-way staircase into Zelda's room. Oh.
I don't know if I've ever seen that before. That is pretty awesome.
That was fantastic. A one-way staircase into a shutter-locked Zelda room with a bunch of blue whiz robes. If that's not the most devious thing I've ever seen, I'm not sure what is. Poplars, to answer your question, currently you cannot go below 3 hearts. If you pay a heart in one of those rooms with 3 hearts, you'll go into what's affectionately known as zombie mode, where all of your hearts will be purpled out or pinked out like you've died, but you won't actually die, although a stiff gust of wind will kill you at that point.
Yeah, pretty much you go down to 0 hit points, but the game doesn't kill you officially at that point. So it lets you survive, barely. In the new version, where you can potentially start at below 3 hearts, should you, for some masochistic reason, choose to do so, you'll be able to, it would reduce you to, you can reduce down to whatever you start with, and then if you try to go below that, you'll go to zombie mode at that point. But that's still a little while away here, and those orange whiz robes are not dying to a single bomb.
That's always bad. Jam trying to put his banana food to use, unfortunately, he has to get it on the 3rd try.
And then finds the bomb shop, of course.
Hey, free fitty is always better than whatever price they're charging.
Oh, completely agreed. RBG, but he found the compass. So he's found one of the 2 things he cares about, and now he knows he has to go back to the other side.
He already got the Triforce in this. He didn't
he's already got the Triforce, yeah, duh.
Triforce was 1 room in.
Shh, quiet. I'm trying to build excitement that's not there.
Oh, sorry about that. Next time
okay.
I will ruin it for you. So now that we're done talking in code, we've got Jam doing more Dancing with Lionels and Redbird going down more sets of stairs, because levels 7 and 8 in Second Quest, that's pretty much all they are staircases.
Oh yeah. Now, I mean, you might find a item here or there, and RBG has decided, yeah, he's done with the section that he's in, and he's continuing to dig. He is taking the gamble here that there's going to be something important here in level 7, because again, you could have very easily taken that Triforce. He's got the recorder. If he wanted to, he could come back later very easily. He just come back. He's got the recorder, so the Triforce literally can just blow the whistle, come back a little bit later on. So he is gambling hardcore here. You know, that despite everyone associating him with disliking level 7, he's gambling that he can, that there's going to be something big in here, which may be true. It may be false. We don't know, but you know, it's a good play. I mean, you can't. I don't think there's necessarily a bad play here, but this is going to be a really solid play for him to, especially if he pulls it out. This could easily even it up and take it back to game 3.
Right. Well, here's the thing: is all plays are good in theory until they're not. And I know I just went fully John Madden there, but yeah, this is one of those plays where it's a high risk, high reward play. Because you dig a level like a 7, like a 6 type of deal, those big levels where it could take you a while to get there, and you get a reward for that, in this case the ladder or the bow, it's huge. You go through that and you end up with the red candle. you know, you're kicking yourself in the butt for making that decision. And unfortunately, both of our runners are going to in stereo die.
Well, they just wanted to dance a little. That's all that they were looking to do. Give us a nice little, give us some love here. And it's interesting watching the play here because, you know, Jam, you're seeing the hesitation there possibly before using some of the keys. RBG is definitely not having to give any of those because he, you know, has the bow already. Or not the bow, he has the magical key, so he can just simply laugh in the face of all that.
Alrighty, something to take note of is I believe RPG has found all the staircases, so that Goma room that we saw looks like the item in 7 is the arrow block from the Goma. So the one thing we know for sure, if that's the case, Bo's not in 7.
And RBG knows, unless like the ladder happens to be, I mean, technically he hadn't seen all the rooms, but RBG at this point knows that unless the ladder is needed, really, or possibly, you know, power bracelet, not power bracelet, but Raft maybe to get into 9. Aside from that, he's doesn't need to do that. So he's got the knowledge now that he doesn't need to clear the rest of 7 unless, you know, he finds the bow already. He won't need the bow, which is really, really useful information to have here.
Yeah, the other thing is Jam over here in what I believe is this level 3?
It's looking like it. I think from the shape, yeah, I'd give that a good possibility here. Let's see if after he clears this room out, if he checks things a little bit further. But I mean, at this point, we don't have a lot of levels left. 9's really the one we're missing here.
Could also be 2, by the way. Jam's going through it.
2. Yeah, no, it's 2. He wouldn't have been able to go up here if it was 3. So this is 2.
So yeah. 2 is also a very nice dungeon to find, fairly small, and unfortunately full of these absolutely atrocious lag-inducing blue gorillas, all of the sprites on screen.
Oh, yeah.
Not to be confused with all the 7-ups on screen.
Yeah, this is actually a really good dungeon for Jam right now because of the fact that he doesn't have the keys and he gets the ladder out of it.
That's a huge, huge find for Jam. So we've got the ladder over on Jamie's side and the Triforce out of 2. So yeah, at this point, Jam still needs to go back to 1 for the silver arrows, though. So each one of our runners does have one of the trifecta items per se. But look at that. Ladder is power bracelet block.
And again, that's probably won't be a big deal. The power bracelet's kind of close there. Next time we have a death, but the question is, when will first of all, will it be needed? It may not be needed, actually. These runners do have the capacity to be able to do a number of different clips, so it's possible to even fight Ganon in another power bracelet block dungeon. Wow.
Based on where we're starting, this has to be 6.
Process of elimination here. I mean, actually, I think we've seen just about every single dungeon at this point except for 9.
Exactly. Well, if you want to ruin my excitement meter, you can do that too.
Well, it's still exciting. We did in fact find level 6 here. So truly, the only dungeon we are missing right now is the one that they actually care about the most right now, is level 9.
Perhaps on Death Mountain as an entrance to death?
Certainly possible here. I mean, it could be Recorder block. You know, that's what we can hope for. It could be Raft block. Jam's got the Triforce out of there now, so it's kind of a moot point. But either way, you know, I mean, these runners actually have good odds if they do get up to, if they do find level 9 here. These guys are getting better and better options of doing things. And Jam's walking right by level 1, even though he has cleared it previously. You know, even though he's still missing some stuff there. He hasn't cleared it actually, but he just walked right by. He wants to explore. He wants to find that level 9.
That's crazy.
It's not too bad. I mean, again, at this point, he's got a ladder, he's got a power bracelet. His main goal is to find 9 at this point. So, yeah, again, don't forget, he has the 1-0 lead. He has a little bit more room to play with. So if he wants to spend the extra time trying to find 9, trying to find out what that is, you know, see if the power bracelet and the recorder that he's found now early give him an extra advantage. I mean, heck, the power bracelet's already given him 2 free dungeons. It's a great thing, and with the recorder, he can come back to most of these other ones. I don't think it's necessarily a bad play to be able to do that. just to try to find level 9 first. I mean, we know, again, with the knowledge of being, the commentator seat and the viewer seat, we know he's going to have to go back to 1 eventually, but he's going to go back there pretty much as one of the first dungeons the instant he comes back there. But he's taking that red ring.
Absolutely, I don't blame him. Taking the red ring there is huge, and now we have Purple Tingle.
That's the fun of having those random colors show up. I love that little feature. Well, a minor little one, nothing big that we had put in a while back, but definitely a nice little taste.
Yeah, those little fun, aesthetically pleasing things, those are the absolute, the ones that have no effect on gameplay, just allow people to add their little flair, like the custom Tingle sprite, like being able to play as Zelda or the old man or the old woman, and RBG getting sniped right before you can go at the next screen transition. Ouch.
That is always a painful little one, but we'll see what happens here where he happens to go. Jam finding his way into that lovely orange level here. And of course, he is going to be less likely to pay because he still hasn't gotten the magical key out of 1. So he's going to wander around 7 a bit here. And again, we believe that we've got the ladder block here, or the Goma block here, rather, for whatever the item ends up being. So this will end up being, again, the fact that he's digging us here, it may be wasted time in the end. That will give RBG a little bit of an advantage in terms of potentially trying to go get, find where level 2 ends up being and grabbing that ladder out of there. Although he needs another heart container or 2, probably, because I'm going to guess at this point that they haven't done a check of the power bracelet at 4.
Yeah, I don't know for sure at 4. I know Jam had it when he had 5 hearts.
Yeah, so he's got a 50-50 shot at this point, but
he's diving back into 8.
Again, I think this is the down 1-0 mentality here. You need to make that play to get something. He knows he needs. We know that he absolutely needs that Triforce. He needs to be able to, not the Triforce, but he needs that bow. It's got to be somewhere. This is a level that Jam might not have necessarily dug. We know, again, with the fact that we've been watching the game, we know Jam has at least done a partial run through here, but diving those bigger dungeons, that could potentially give you that piece that you need.
Yeah, but this is, like I said, this is just a very interesting play here from RBG, opting to go back into level 8 as opposed to continue to search for level 9. We don't know where it is yet. And the part that confuses me here, maybe you can shed some light on this, maybe not, is to why he is so vehemently avoiding going to Death Mountain right now.
I don't know about the Death Mountain part specifically, but it could just be a case. I mean, you don't forget, you do need bow in order to do this. You do need silvers, and the question just becomes, where is it going to be? And in the case of RBG here, since he was here, one advantage he has, he just got the Triforce out. He can come back here now, so we might actually see him now press on to a different level, or he could just walk right in and completely destroy my theory. But as I said, I mean, I think in his mind, he's trying, it's again, that game of psychology. He needs to try to make that move that Jam doesn't do. He's down. Jam can play certain things safely that he might not be able to, and he's got to make that decision about, well, what am I allowed to do? What can I do what am I going to do to differentiate things to win? And, he is an incredibly solid player, but at the same time, that game 1 loss there. Oh, apparently I was wrong on my count, by the way, because
we hadn't
clearly
done 3.
Here's 3. Yeah, 3 was the one we were missing.
Yeah, and the interesting thing to continue to bring up what you talk about is, this is something that I've always tried and talk about, is when you're playing in a tournament, especially something like a randomizer, or it's more prevalent in randomizer. But when you're playing heads up against somebody, there are 2 schools of thought. There's the school of thought where you can go ahead and just play your game and not worry about anything, or you can try and play to what your opponent has tendencies to do. And there are pros and cons to both sides of this. I am always a fan of stick with what got you here, and digging these level 7, these level 8s. This is not what we normally see from Redbird. Usually it's, okay, I have the Triforce, I'm going to go try and find level 9. I'm going to go try and figure out what I need. So seeing him dig this level 7, this level 8, this is very, very uncharacteristic of Redbird. And I wonder if you are correct. If the nerves of being down one, if the nerves of being in the finals for a chance for the rematch with Saber, if that's getting to him.
That's certainly possible. And I mean, again, the way that when you play these seeds, you're trying to do what you can. And again, as you said, just that fact that you're down 1-0, you almost have to play a little bit risky because, if you lose, you lose. If you play safe, that safe play can potentially get you a good time. But, if that opponent makes that one gamble, then you're in trouble. Whereas here, as Jam finds White Sword in 3, so, very useful weapon upgrade, but not necessarily a combat advantage. I think it's a combat advantage, but not an item that he wanted to see necessarily. But just the fact here again, if RBG finds something here in 8, it's absolutely great. If he doesn't find it here in 8, then we've got the risk situation of, well, did Jam actually look for something? Did he find it? Did he just take that wrong turn and is it going to be a 9 and he's going to come back in here and do the digging later? So the question is, can you read your opponent and decide what the best play is? And the nice thing is, if you do die a bit, you can always save, and especially if you've got the Triforce, come back later.
Which is exactly what Redbird is doing here, is he's now with 5 hearts going to go ahead and check the power bracelet, which is going to be huge for him because it is going to unlock level 2, which he is fairly close to, which does get him the ladder. Now, of course, here's the fun part, is Jam's up here on Death Mountain. He's explored a good portion of it. Is the ladder the key? Is 9's entrance ladder blocked up by the waterfalls there? Is it raft blocked, and are we going to have to go back and dig a 6 or an 8 to get to the raft, which is going to hold level 9?
Oh, great. There's a lot of possibilities here, and it's looking more and more, and we don't know for certain, but it's looking more and more like that might be the case, that we might be seeing an item block here again, a recorder potentially, although we're running low on recorder spots. I think the East Death Mountain recorder spots are really, and Power Bracelet are really the 2 spots left for blocked level 9s, aside from raft and or the ladder, as you were suggesting. Those spots that I always tend to forget because they're annoyingly inconvenient.
Yeah, the other thing that I was about to make a comment on, but Jam's going to go correct it, is Jam, I thought he was just going to say, I'm done with it, banking on 4 Triforce entries being enough, which, is a 50% chance of getting yourself into 9, but does opt to go back into level 3 here to pick up the Triforce, and unfortunately for Redbird, does get a red bubble, so he's going to have to find himself a blue bubble to get his sword access back, and with only 8 bombs, yeah, there's not a lot he can do in that room unless he wants to use all of them.
Well, he's trying it here. I mean, the only question is, do you need 3 bombs or 2? And fortunately, 2 in this case was able to work. But if that had been 3, that would have been slightly annoying. And he's still currently swordless. He's hoping to find that blue bubble or something to be able to try to get through here, because he can't kill the bunnies. And I think it was just a straight out room here to the right. So I think he's actually forced through here to get the ladder, which
it was another room full of blue gorillas that had the ladder in it. It was the room directly to the right of the Triforce room here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was trying to remember.
This room he's getting into right now, this room with these gorillas, this is the room with the ladder.
He's not killing that. He's not killing that right now. Jeez.
He can't. 3 bombs, exactly. He'd have to stun everything in place.
Which is doable, but yeah, no, I mean, if he comes back in with the Triforce, maybe, but I don't remember if the Triforce was just laying out or not.
I think it was.
Yeah, so he might be able to,
there's
if he
the
can
blue
get
bubble.
Back there.
There's the blue bubble he needed.
So now he knows where the Triforce is.
Ooh, why is he up Aing? What is he doing? I'm a little confused
he's
here. He had the blue bubble.
He's aborting. He may not have noticed that. He may have not noticed the blue bubble when he was in there. He may have just made a quick trip through that room and not hit the bubble. But he's swordless right now. He's going to the fairy fountain and going to check over. Here's 9.
So 9 is up on Death Mountain. All right, here we go. Here is the moment of truth. How many Triforces do we need to get into level 9? Is 5 going to be enough, or is this going to be one of those big seeds? We don't need it. We need 6. Oh, wow.
Oh, jeez. Well, that's interesting. I mean, again, fortunately, most of these runners have been getting their Triforces in the process. So
Yes, myself plays. We say swordless because the red bubbles, which is a second quest exclusive enemy, makes it so you can no longer use the item attached to your A button, which in this case is the sword. Ergo, RBG was effectively swordless. That curse can only be lifted by a couple of ways, and Fred, since you are the mastermind behind all this and you know these much better than I do, what are the ways you can lift that red bubble curse?
Well, the most common way that you'll see runners get rid of the bubble is going to be if they happen to have a blue bubble in that room, and if you walk into the blue bubble, that will restore the power of your sword. In addition, by collecting a Triforce, you can restore your sword by going to... You drink a potion, whether a blue potion, it doesn't matter which one it is, that will also restore your sword, as will collecting the Triforce at the end of the level. And then, very last but not least, if you choose to save and save the file, so you do the up A and you choose to save instead of continue, that also will get you the your sword back. So I believe it's 5 ways total. I think I listed all 5 of them. If my brain somehow didn't list all 5 of them, someone in chat will correct me probably and hit the 5th one. But I think we hit all 5.
Hey, Fred.
I didn't do it.
No, you didn't. But Jam is. He finally went back to level 1.
Oh, good. Yep, he's gonna find out here very quickly. He's gonna get that sword. He's gonna get that silver, and be one piece away. And he's gonna get the Triforce out of here too. I mean, that's especially when finding that you needed 6 pieces. That was that's gonna be a perfect play for him. And I think we're gonna see potentially the gamble into 9 there for see if the bow's there once he's done here. I think that's his immediate next play is to go with bank on it in 9.
I mean, absolutely, that's the absolute play here. So, looks like 6 is ladder blocked because we've seen the other 4 rooms in 6. Redbird going to pop back into here. Good thing for him, he's going to be rewarded with the Triforce. Bad news, he's item blocked out of there. So, best case scenario for him now is to go back to 2, get the ladder. Unfortunately, though, as I mentioned, Death Mountain. Death
Mountain's the play.
Has everything, and 6 is ladder blocked on both sides, so without the ladder from 2, there's nothing Redbird can do here.
Yeah, agreed. So I mean, it could be a blessing, could be a curse. In terms of the way to go here, for him might be nice because it may force a little bit more exploration. Try maybe head him up more towards Death Mountain, maybe. Except of course I say that and he turns to the right instead of to the left.
He's going to check the power bracelet spot up here because he just got the power
that's a good
bracelet.
call. You can hit this. I mean, again, and what he could do from here potentially is go, well, not necessarily go along the river because, it's not necessarily going to do that. But if he goes along the river, he could take East Death Mountain, and he could be, find where level 9 is and find that news here reasonably soon too. Oh, checking south of 5 here. Not a power bracelet spot this time.
No, so this is interesting. Jam, unfortunately, not bombing into the one room he needs to bomb into to get his silver arrows. Gonna waste a little bit of time here, but at this point, he still is definitely in the catbird seat, knowing where level 9 is, having the ladder, which is huge, and having the knowledge that level 9 is a 6 Triforce required, level 9.
Yeah, I mean, that's why you pick up those Triforces when you are going through. Because then as you saw a nice lovely old man there who was completely lying to RBG, and RBG is now making that play towards, well, he's going to check out the rest of the power bracelet spots here, I think, first, as Jam gets that Triforce. Is he going to make the play to 9? No, he's going back in.
You've got like 3 rooms left. If you make the play
agreed.
to 9 there, it's...
Well, it's the smart, as I said, it would be I agree with you, it's the play, but when he grabbed the Triforce there, I was suddenly having second questions about whether or not he was going to... Oh, he's going for the blues here. Nope. He's saying, yep, no, I'm going to check the other room.
No, it makes sense. You had 2 rooms left to check. You might as well check that one. So he now does officially know where the item is, and he's going to be very, very happy with that. Best case
that's
scenario
going to make the play to
here,
9. He's going to do the play to 9, I think, almost certainly here at this point.
Yeah. Best case scenario for Redbird here is bow is in 9 and he finds it rather quickly, and ladder's not required, but unfortunately Redbird still needs 2 more Triforces.
Agreed. And well, although I think RBG at this point, 4 bombs. So will he go East Death Mountain or West Death Mountain here? 4 bombs, you could do West Death Mountain without too much trouble. You don't have enough bombs right now to do West Death Mountain, and Jam getting those silvers. RBG with a good potion pickup, though, because, again, you run the risk of those red bubbles taking your sword away.
Yeah, potions have a much larger impact here in the second quest enemies, again, strictly because of the red bubbles. Nothing worse than going through a dungeon, getting to the second to last room, getting red bubbled, and like, well, I have no way of doing anything anymore.
Great. So here we go. Again, we found all 9 levels at this point. We know, ladder could be required to get that Triforce here. We are not 100% certain, but we know that, hopefully RBG will come through here. I'm sorry, not Triforce, to get the bow. That's what I meant to say. Ladder could be required
going
to get the
back
bow.
Into 8.
Interesting.
This is a very interesting play here. I'm not sure why he's doing this.
Maybe thoroughness again. That remember he has the 1-0 advantage here. It could be, again, me hypothesizing here. We'd have to ask Jam afterwards, but it could be that he's hoping that he has the time to be a bit more thorough.
Well, we got one of the 2 items out of 8. It is the book.
Which, I mean, at this point for the runners, that doesn't necessarily, that's almost a detriment to Jam because he knows what the maps are, the levels. I mean, I think he's actually seen most of the levels here. And, it's going to cause the fire on the sword. I mean, he does have the red ring, so it won't affect him too much. But at the same time, I guess maybe makes that way you never have to stop and make sure that you know what level you're in. That's always a possibility here.
Yeah, I mean, with the book as Atlas feature, I definitely agree. Picking it up is great, especially, if you're newer to the second quest stuff, or if it's shaped, you don't know what things are into. Definitely agree with that. My big question here is less, why are you picking up the book, and more, why are you even in 8?
Yeah, well, again, as I said, I feel like, he has the luxury. He knows, especially in the shoes he's in, I mean, you're 51 minutes in. You are against, RBG. And again, yes, you technically have a 1.0. Wow, go to speak, Fred. You have a 1-0 advantage here on your on the docket. You have a little bit of room to potentially play in terms of finding, hunting through things. And I think what Jam's doing is saying, RBG at this point, is he already in 9? Because I feel like Jam may have had a few turnbacks, a few early deaths. He might be feeling behind. And if Jam if Jam's now saying RBG's in 9, my way to win this match is to be thorough and go back at 8. So it's again that meta game that they're playing back and forth with each other, trying to decide which way do you go. Do you make the play to 9, what have you? And Jam right now is, I think, banking on the fact that RBG would have already been in 9 hunting for stuff.
Oh my word, RBG almost dying there, making me flinch in my seat a little bit. The return frame of the boomerang isn't a hitbox, and it's the only reason he didn't die there.
As I said, when you're talking about the combat capabilities of these players, RBG's already shown us some of his boomerang dancing that he's been doing here. It is incredibly good, and choosing not to even hear what the old man had to say there, which makes sense. He already knows where whatever level it is, but so most likelihood whatever lies, he doesn't want to hear from the old man there. He probably wasn't going to get a hint from the old man there about what where an item was going to be. And, oh gosh, more wizrobes.
Yeah, wizrobes are always disgusting. However, what's not disgusting is wood sword killable orange gorillas, which drop you a pack of bombs.
That's a good thing, especially when you're not sure what you're going to be seeing here. But it's interesting because they both have basically opted, as a result of their play here, they both have opted to assume that the other one's already going to be in 9, have explored 9. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, but I do agree with your statement here, is that the ability of Jam to be up 1-0 here does give him that leeway of being a little more fast and loose, where he can, again, take the time to go ahead and explore this 8, where, I don't know who mentioned it in chat, but basically the thinking has to be, if Bo's here deep in 8, I just straight up win.
Yeah. Agreed. I mean, again, that's what you have to do. You have to go in with the strategy of, knowing you have that flexibility here. You know that you can easily, pick up something that the other person has, RBG taking a hug there on going for the last enemy. But the plus side, he had already exited the room, so he literally just has to kill one enemy there again to get through that room to try to get to the item we know is the white sword, which again will be a nice offensive upgrade for RBG, but is not the item currently he's looking for. But again, he'll also take the wood, not the wood sword. He will take the Triforce out of here and unknowingly be one away from getting into level 9.
Yeah, but Jamie going to go ahead and pick up that heart container that got Redbird the power bracelet a little while ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the decision making in this seed has been very, very interesting, and I do agree with what you've been talking about. How this really feels like this decision making has been entirely based off of the fact that it's a 1 versus 1 match. And not a big race or anything like that, because I don't think you see Jam, digging this 8 as opposed to digging 9, unless of course he misread and thought it said 8 units as opposed to 6. That could be the possibility.
It's possible. I mean, again, the one thing I know about Jam, I've played him a number of times. He has handily crushed me a number of times in tournament matches, in a one-on-one format. He just gets such a good read on these seeds. He plays on his instincts. He has an incredible feel for how the seed is going, for what needs to be done. And I feel like, in this case, it could be the right one, it could be the wrong one, who knows, but he's very good at reading things based on the situations. And so, especially in this case with this format, he knows, again, he's got that little bit of leeway, not necessarily going to, be the be all end all. He still has that 1 game cushion. Ideally he wants to win in 2. You don't want to just say, okay, game's over, I don't care about this game whatsoever. He wants to win this one so that way he doesn't have to play game 3, because I would not want to play any of these players in a 3rd game format, in a 1 game wins all format. But at the same time, if he's got that power to be able to, that little extra leeway there to say, okay, if I make this play, I'm probably going to win. If I don't make this play, it's a coin flip at best. You make the play there that you have that little extra wiggle room with. Unfortunately, the Wizrobes here do not do a lot of damage.
Yeah, RBG opted to make the same gamble that Jamie did, leaving the Triforce in level 3 there initially. A good thing about for RBG is the Triforce is very easy to get to in level 3. Bad news, it of course is all the way up here on Death Mountain.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy to get back up here. There's also, he hasn't gotten a dungeon up here, so walking back up here to get the Triforce is not going to be easily done here. So that might cost a little bit of time there. I mean, maybe not end of the world. I think he might know where some of the other Triforces are in some of the smaller dungeons. So, and he still hasn't, again, he noped out of 2 when he got red bubbled. He doesn't have the Triforce or the ladder out of there. So 2 is that when he finds out he needs 6, 2 is going to be one of the first ones he's going to go back to. And so he'll get his ladder.
Yeah, he's going to absolutely. He finds out he needs 6. What he's going to do is he more than likely is going to up A, head back to 2, get the Triforce, and hopefully the ladder out of 2. Then, in theory, he could go right up to 6, get the Triforce out of 6. We know the Triforce in 6 is super easy to get. Or he could come right back up here to 3, where he knows what the Triforce is, and then make a beeline for 9 and hope and pray that the bow is in 9. Unfortunately, he just got battered around. He was an absolute toy for those Gibdos.
That's going to help him a little bit, though, because he was trying to farm bombs. He doesn't have the nice luxury that Jam just has of going up to 20 bombs right now. But that might help him because there is the bomb shop here close to start. So he's going to get that. He's going to get that bomb shop, the bombs out of the shop there to give him a little bit more to work with.
Yeah, and now RBG, where is he going? Looks like he's going to 1.
And he's going. He whistled a 1 so that way he can get back up to Death Mountain because he doesn't have any enclosed spot. So he's going to come back now up here to Death Mountain through the back door. Maybe he'll leave the transition screen there for the very end. He's going to kill these guys, get more bombs, which is perfect. He needs that. And then he'll probably discover level 9 up here. He'll probably go up and try to get the rest of the hit the transition screen, go up, try to push the power bracelet, try to hit the recorder in his mind, but he won't even need to do that once he discovers where level 9 is.
Yeah, the other interesting thing here is I believe that Jam only has one room left in level 8 to explore.
Yeah, I mean, this is all this time's been given RBG that chance to get that information here. Jam's had a little bit of a knowledge advantage here, and the fact that he was able to get a couple of these items earlier and cleaner, but at the same time, again, I don't think either of these players knows that they've done that.
Well,
I saw a couple of rooms there, but...
Yeah, here's the big thing. RBG gonna get his information. Gonna know that he's gonna need 6 Triforces. Now here's the fun part. Where do you go, RBG? Where do you go?
He's going back to 2. I say, well, he's here. He might go to 3. Will he head back to 3 to grab that Triforce because he knows it? I think he is because he's walking.
I mean, it's the right call here. You whistle. You go to 3. That way you have a whistle point.
Oh, nope, not 3. Not 3. He's walking back down here. I think he's going to 2 at this point.
Well, why wouldn't you just whistle to 4? I mean, no, to 1. 1's much closer. Oh, it's the heart container at 8.
And the heart container's in 8, so...
He's going back into 5.
Well, 5, so, he knows where the Triforce is. He's gotten the recorder out of here. He has not gotten the wand out of here.
Right. So here's an interesting thing. Jamie going back into 7. This could be the break Redbird needs, because we've got 4 items left. We know that there's a 50% chance now of Bo being in level 9 and Redbird getting ladder blocked out of there.
He's still got a chance. He's still got a chance. It might be the... he's got the shutter door here. So he might be able to get... assuming these bubbles and stuff cooperate with him, which is iffy. But master of using those bombs to be able to take out the blue dark nuts, apparently master of using iframes to survive.
Oh, Redbird's huge with the iframes. You should see him use the candle iframes to not get bubbled. It's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. No, he is awesome on that side of things. And, oh, this is that wand.
This is the wand.
Which is nice, but not what RBG really wanted. He wanted the bow. But this will be a nice... Yeah, I mean, this will be nice. Candles combat bit, but now this gets him the Triforce for 6.
Yeah, but for as many times as he's been red bubbled here, the wand is huge.
Yeah, and he also does not have that book. So that ends up being nice.
Oh, get clipped in the back with the keys.
Ouch.
This is crazy.
This could go again. This is right now a race right now. Jam is gambling that the bow is not in 9, playing that metagame, saying that RBG at this point, hour and 2 in, you're looking at that clock. You are immediately saying to yourself, there is no, my opponent's got to be in 9 by now. I've had a couple of deaths. I've double dipped a couple of dungeons. There's no way my opponent, he's got to be in 9 by now. So I have to make my play here. I have to assume the ladder is not in 9. Or not the ladder, the bow is not in 9. And whereas, in this case, RBG, he's got his, he hasn't gotten into 9 quite yet. He's still missing those 2 Triforces. He's getting his information out of here. As I said, I would bank dollars to donuts at this point. Level 2 is going to be that level that he's going to go to next, because he doesn't have the item out of it yet. He knows where the Triforce is, but he doesn't have the Triforce. That's going to be his next play. And It's a small level, should cover everything. We'll get him the ladder, which will be perfect for him.
He's not going to go back to 2. He's right up here in Death Mountain. He's going to go to 3, get the Triforce out of 3, and then go right back into 9. That's why he went to 5, because it was closer. Oh no, maybe you go back then. I thought for sure he was going to 5.
Well, the problem is, if he was going to 5, he should have gone there directly as Jam. Jam blends in that level, and I guess he's got the red ring, but he's going to survive the Zelda room with the blue Wizrobes here. Wow. And Redbird is going back to 2, which is what he needs to do. But he went to 5 there. I'm surprised he didn't just go back to 3. Well, the problem is going back to 3 had to involve like 6 screens all the way west going through Death Mountain. He had the weapon, he had the item out of 3, So really, it's just a give me the Triforce to enter 9. Whereas, again, he still had levels 5 and 2 were both outstanding items for him. So I think in the end, that case of giving him the extra information with the death, by killing that room, gives him more chances of finding the bow. So I think it's what he has to do, because he's got to balance finding the bow versus finding the bow versus getting those 6 Triforces. And if he can rule things out by doing both at the same time, so much the better. Oh man, these manhandlers.
This manhandler, really, really beefy roll there. Troll and Redbird, but only with 3 bombs left. So the thing for Redbird is he is now going to be going through and killing every room he finds, because he's searching for the item in here. He's going to be very happy to find the ladder. And honestly, the way his combat has or hasn't been in this seed, I wouldn't be surprised to see him go get the red ring. Although I also wouldn't be surprised to see him make a beeline right back to level 9 here.
No, he's at this point, I think he's going straight to 9. As much as you don't want, as much as the red ring would be awesome, he's got to feel behind. Again, both of these runners, I think, feel behind at this point. Both of these runners are looking at this seed. They're seeing the fact that you have, hour 5, and I know I keep saying it, but having been in these race situations in the brackets, you have an hour 5, hour 6. You've seen what the times are like on these seeds. You are worried that you're done. You're completely worried that you're not going to get what that you've missed something somehow. And
it's a good thing for Redbird. This is the room he wants to be in. This is the ladder room.
Yeah,
Better news for Redbird. Right next door is the Triforce. So this is where things become interesting. Does Redbird get the Triforce from next door and go to 9? Because I know Redbird is a big, big fan of 9 access and getting that information and exploring. So this is going to be the interesting choice. Where does Redbird go from here? Does he go back into 6? Because in Redbird's mind, he's explored 7 already. He thinks that the item in 7 is Goma Block, which means it can't be the bow. So in Redbird's mind, he's found most of the items. That means he's got to either get to 6 or to 9. And it looks like he is making a beeline for that red ring.
Yeah. Well, as I said, you're hoping at that point, it is a good call. It's a 7. You have 7 hearts. Red ring basically turns that effectively into 28. And you're hoping that the minute walk there will then save you on being able to just tank rooms in 9. And with Patro's second quest 9, you get some Patros in some very difficult rooms, I guess. So it's definitely it ends up being a solid play. He's got that. He is going to save the game, and gonna warp. It looks like to. He'll probably warp to. I think 2. To 5. Warp to 5.
Yep. You warp to 5 here, and Jam continuing his exploration of level 7. At this point, Redbird whistling to 7, not 5. But at this point, if you're Jam, you're pot committed to level 7 here, aren't you?
Yeah, no, you are pot committed. You pretty much need to explore as much of this as you can, because again, you've explored everything. Again, it's that 1-0 advantage. And at this point, he's out. He's going to be out. Oh, no, maybe not. Maybe there's a staircase he didn't hit. But I think at this point, there must be, unless there's a staircase that he missed, that staircase is going to take, he's going to need that staircase to get down to those final 4 rooms on the tail of the spiral there. He might be out of here. He might be on his way to 9 as well.
This, for the longest time, it looked like Jam had full control of this seed once he picked up those silver arrows in level 1. But determined to go ahead and explore level 7 and 8 to put the nail in the coffin, so to speak. He's allowed Redbird to climb right back into this, and Redbird's going to be actually the first one to dive into level 9 and start exploring. This is crazy.
And the thing is, it's not going to be... I mean, to be fair, I don't know if RBG actually finished clearing this room Jam's clearing, because Jam's got the advantage now with the red ring.
Well, no, Redbird picked up the red ring, so...
Yeah, no, he picked the red ring now, but when he was in here last time, he didn't. So if there's a staircase over here, he might not... No, I don't think so. I don't think there's a staircase in here. Let's see... Oh, there could be.
This could be it.
I don't think so. Nope. Okay, nope. So that Goma's blocking it.
That Goma's blocking the item, so we know for a fact the bow cannot be here in level 7. So that means there is a 66% chance that Redbird is making the right play for the bow, and Jam seems confused. He seems extremely confused about what's going on here. And there's the bow immediately at level 9!
Oh boy.
Like 3 rooms into level 9, Redbird is now in control of this game. Oh my word!
Well, now is Jam going to...
fantastic turn of events here.
So at this point, we are listening for the roar of Ganon. He will hear the Ganon. The question is, where is Jam off to? Is he going... He did not get the Triforce... Oh, okay. So he's diving back into 6.
He's oh, I hear Ganon. I just heard Ganon on RBG's side.
Oh boy.
This is crazy. RBG was down for most of this match, and now in the past 5 minutes he's come back, taken the lead. He has found Ganon. This is Redbird's game to lose, and looks like we're gonna be getting a game 3 here.
And we could easily be here. I mean, Jam's committed here to 6. We now know it's the wrong call because we've seen where he is. But RBG, and again, RBG is a master at fighting Ganon in all sorts of different rooms. He's had practice, he's got practice ROM where he will practice Ganon in all those different formations, and just a master of being able to quickly take that room down, destroy the pig, and now just looking for that shutter door to open up.
And oh my god, Redbird gonna go ahead and kill Ganon. This is basically it. It's all, like I said, shutter door. That's it.
He's looking for the shutter door. Jam here going to possibly make the play now.
There it is! There it is! And we're going to get ourselves a game 3, ladies and gentlemen. Redbird going to come in with a time of right around 1 hour, 11 minutes, and 9 seconds, and Jam immediately with a snap forfeit. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ourselves a game 3.
Wow. That was an awesome seed, I have to say. Just watching it there, that back and forth between the two of them. Jam having the lead, RBG having seeming to have the early lead, Jam coming back, taking control, and it came down to those gambles. And they decided to, again, ended up in this case, Jam, again, whether it was the meta or not, decided to go for the not in 9 strategy of the items. RBG went to 9, and in this case, RBG ended up getting what he needed. Had that bow been in 6, could have been a very different game. So incredibly close game here. Congratulations to both runners there for putting on a really entertaining race.
Yeah, that was absolutely bananas, and we have got ourselves a Redbird here. So do we give you a couple minutes to stop the shaking and the heart from beating before we start talking?
I need like a couple days, not a couple minutes.
Well, you're going to have a couple days before Game 3 happens. That will definitely be a thing. But got to ask, you're going through all these, it's getting to 40, 50 minutes, an hour, and you still haven't seen a dot done. What's going through your mind?
Well, what was going through my mind was I was so disappointed in my early gameplay that I felt like I had to gamble. I knew where 6 and 8 were, but I felt like I played so poorly at the beginning. I had 11 deaths this scene, which is, I think, uncharacteristic. But I think I played so poorly that I'm like, I'm just going to 9. I said, as soon as I find 9, which I couldn't find 9 for anything, so I'm going. As soon as I get the Triforces, that's kind of what played into everything.
Meh.
And we have a Jam with a meh as well. So
yeah, I gambled the fact that I figured, because I played the meta, I figured since no one was done, you were digging 9 for the item. And at that point, I was like, well, it's either in 9 or it's not. And I just decided that it wasn't in 9 and wasted all my time outside of it and didn't even try. Even though I had access to 9, I just chose to not do it. And that's what cost me the match. But good game, man. Really good showing.
Yeah, GG's. The first one, too, where you just wiped the floor with me. But GG's on both.
Yeah, we're coming back for round 3, though.
The Christmas elves are still wiping off the smear of Redbird from game 1.
I have no idea what that means. Christmas
Wait, what
elves?
I didn't hear that. We were like scheduling the next match in the.
I said after the drubbing in game 1, our Christmas elves are still wiping the smear of Redbird off the floor.
Basically. But really, that was just a one-room race.
What's a Christmas elf?
Don't start with me, Jim. You've got a Metroid Triforce with a Santa hat on your stream.
Yeah.
So anyway, real quick, everybody, because you all were asking, I don't have an official time yet, but these two were putting some work in while also talking to us. We can officially tell you that Game 3 is going to be Tuesday.
Nope, Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday, just because you said Tuesday to everybody.
Yep.
Like we said,
love
Game
you
3
too.
could potentially be on Tuesday. It could be Wednesday. We're going to see one way or the other. It will be at some point in the next 72 hours, presumably, plus or minus 10 hours.
Yeah, we're gonna get it done as soon as possible. I know Saber's been waiting, he's tapping his feet over there, so we'll get him. We'll get him his match, whether it's RBG or me. We'll keep the suspense going. It's a one game match now, so or one match game, or that
Winner
one.
take all.
winner take all. I'm happy with as far as I made it in the tournament. So even if I go out in third place, that's fine with me. It's been so much fun, and just it's an honor to play against someone like you, RBG, and that's it.
Well, likewise. I mean, we talked in the Discord that of the people left, you guys have won these things. I have not. It's like one of these things is not like the other, and it's definitely Redbirdgrad right now. So.
Oh, we've also entered these things too. So
well, that's true. That's true. I was in last year and I got bounced. So what's that?
Oh, I mean, that was when you first kind of picked it up. You know, you were new.
Dip my toe in the water. You know.
Now you're like head first, bobbing for apples here.
Oh man, I'm like that guy at the party that just sticks around too long, and you guys are like, "Is he gonna leave? Is this guy just gonna?"
The guy on the couch.
I
RBG
really
is officially the guy on the couch.
Now? Yeah.
I am that guy on the couch.
Yeah. Came over for the party, never left. Now a new roommate.
Right.
I mean, I can think of worse roommates.
Oh, I appreciate it. That was nice.
True. But yeah, thank you so much for the commentary
Like
to
the
everyone.
three I have.
Yeah, thank you so much for the commentary to everyone involved tonight. I know it was a big production having 2 matches back to back and coordinating the trackers and commentators and restream. So thank you all so much for your hard work. And I look forward to the next one. That's all I got for tonight.
Yeah, likewise. I just echo those sentiments. You guys are awesome. I mean, all 4 of you guys that did commentary, and then everybody in the restream and tracking and all that jazz. So thank you so much for taking your guys' nights out.
No problem. Thank you guys for putting the match on, for putting 2 really entertaining races on in both ways. In both cases, easily could have swung either way. You know, I've played both of you guys. You know, it is incredibly difficult going into a match against either one of you, let alone the 2 of you guys playing against each other. You know, 2 of the top 3 runners in this tournament, 2 of the top 3 runners, possibly 2 of the top 3 runners out there, period. You know, there's very few names that, you know, I could say without a doubt could possibly exceed any of you guys. And, you know, I think any of you guys left in the tournament clearly could win because you guys are the tops in the group. And so it's fun to watch, and I'm looking forward to seeing the madness of Game 3 and seeing how everything changes in terms of the gameplay here, and just having a lot of fun with it.
Fred sure knows how to stroke my ego. Thanks.
Yeah, man. I was sitting over here too, like, dang, dude.
Getting chills over
I
here.
know he's talking about Jam right now.
And to echo his sentiments, he's not wrong. I mean, and not taking anything away, but looking at you know, the road that Jam had to get through to get to this point, and you know, the people who he beat. Any of those matches, I'm just sitting there. I'm sitting there. I'm looking at the bracket. I'm like, salving. That's going to be a good match. That's going to be a good match. I'm like, all of these matches that we've had at the tail end of this tournament have just been absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know how I made it this far. All those opponents were crazy good, and it was just like gauntlet in the losers bracket, the bonus bracket. It was just like literally a gauntlet of epic Zelda 1 randomizer players. And
this tournament's been stacked.
And of course, to the surprise of nobody, the end boss is Crystal Saber.
Yeah, he's already in 9. What are you gonna do?
Hope the Bows in 7.
Hope the Bows not
Come
in 9,
on, man.
like it wasn't tonight, man. Yeah. You know what? That's the first time I never did that in practice at all. Never once did I do that in practice. Is search outside of 9 for an item like that without at least poking my head in 9. So I need to stick to what I know, and that hopefully will help out next time. Until it
Play
doesn't.
your game. You know, you clearly, both of you guys got to this point for a reason. You know, this is what I'm gonna say to you guys, both of you, going into this final match. You both played these games. You both have your own strengths. You know your own strengths, and those strengths are what got both of you into the top 3. And so, you know, take that last game. Obviously, you know, you can metagame however you want, but, you know, play to your strengths. And, you know, chips are going to fall where they're going to fall, but, you know, both of you guys have proven that you are both extremely excellent runners, and, you know, it's going to be a great match, I think, for the final match. But as I said, you know, play your games, do what you need to do, but you guys know what you need to do to play well, and you're going to kick butt with it.
I hope some of those chips land in my mouth.
I've got nowhere to go with that.
I'm hungry.
I'm
I'm sorry.
just going to sit over here and quietly back out here.
I'm so hungry now. It worked up an appetite.
My wonderful wife brought me chocolate between games 1 and 2, so that's actually tidying me.
Oh, you by far.
When can I come visit?
No kidding, right?
I got they're little mini Hershey's bars. Oh, I got some Reese's miniature cups and Nerds. She brought like a handful of, I think, Halloween cake.
I love Nerds.
Oh, that's
the best.
awesome. Not gonna lie though, there is a container sitting in my living room. One of the roommates bought just like a giant little tub of like little Ghirardelli chocolates, and there's a bunch of them in my living room. Which now I'm gonna go grab one. Thanks to you, Redbird. I don't need that, but thank you anyway.
Hey, no problem, man. Here, we'll do it.
All right. Thank you again. I'll catch you all later. Good night.
Yeah, good night, guys.
And thank you guys very much for that. So, Fred, before we wrap this thing up, anything else you would like to say?
I think at this point, you know, we've seen an amazing couple of matches out there. Again, I want to remind everyone out there to make sure to follow the runners. You know, both of them have been putting on a ton of hard work to be able to make everything, you know, work really well for you. Make sure as well follow, you know, Restream team that we've had here, the tracker, you know, my co-commentator here, TGE, who, you know, despite some of the jokes we may make about him, turns out to be an okay guy half the time. So make sure to give him a follow, because, you know, he puts on lots of good commentary pretty much whenever here. And again, make sure to follow everyone else, and, you know, stay tuned, because we're going to have a game 3 coming up here, and that's just going to lead into even more madness with the grand finals. So again, thank you guys all for hanging out and watching.
Yeah, as he said, again, big shout-outs to our commentary team for Game 1, Liquid Husband and Fury SK, as well as our tracker behind the scenes there, Cross Country Guy, our tracker here tonight for this game, which was CCX, and of course, Fred is too humble to say it himself, but if you haven't done so already, please go ahead and follow him. He, of course, is the brains to my pinky here. He is the mastermind behind all of the deviousness you've seen here for the Zelda 1 Randomizer, so please give him a follow. And with that, everybody, I want to thank you very much for watching, not just our game, but both Game 1 and Game 2 here of the Zelda 1 Randomizer 2018 Tournament Consolation Bracket Finals. Game 3 is going to be Tuesday, which is going to be December 4th, time to be determined. On behalf of everybody here, and of course the staff at Speed Gaming, I am the Greenleaf Effect, reminding everybody to, of course, keep hailing.
Good night, everybody.